Donald Trump has been working on building the border wall for some time. First, he had to fight for the funding, eventually diverting billions from the Pentagon and taking the small sum offered him by Congress. Then he had to fight lawsuits and to secure property rights. He will have a tough time finishing it by Election Day, despite his promises. But another wall didn't take that long, and he didn't need to secure funding or property rights. Nearly 2 miles of fencing was erected around the White House last week after the president's efforts to clear peaceful protesters with force wasn't appreciated. Social media didn't miss a step. They have dubbed the fencing number BabyGate. This goes along with the nickname of Number Bunker Boy given to him after it was reported he initially hid from protesters in an underground bunker. He said that was fake news and that he only entered the bunker for a short time to inspect it. This all stems from the death of George Floyd at the knee of a Minneapolis police officer. This sprang into Black Lives Matter protests over police brutality, and that spurred vandals to come forth. 2 weeks later, though, the protests have not stopped, and the president is blocking them with a fence. The White House also tried shutting the lights off inside the White House, but that didn't chase away the protesters. Last Thursday, workers were seen erecting the fencing at the White House. This was after they had already erected a fence around the Lafayette Square entrance. Workers were already installing it along the Eisenhower Executive Office building entrance on 17th Street NW when reporters began arriving at the White House around 5:30 a.m. That afternoon, the fencing stretched from the back of the White House property all the way to 17th Street. The Lafayette Square fencing has sharper edges at the top. This is similar to the same type of structure Trump is installing on the border, as he wants it to be tough to climb. The president's reasoning for installing the fencing is unknown. The protests have been peaceful since the day the demonstrators were removed with force for Trump to give a speech at the Rose Garden and then take a walk to a nearby church for a photo opportunity. The White House does not comment on security protocols and decisions, said Judd Deere, White House spokesperson. The Secret Service commented that the closures are in an effort to maintain the necessary security measures surrounding the White House complex while also allowing for peaceful demonstration. If Trump erected more than 3 miles of fence around the White House, it would exceed the length of his new wall on the southern border, tweeted fired communications director Anthony Scaramucci. His bigotry is only exceeded by his incompetence. I am one of those people who grew up in Washington, D.C. and has been very accustomed to having access to all of our federal facilities, said Washington Mayor Muriel Bowser on Thursday. She added that she was concerned, as some of the fencing didn't seem temporary. Keep in mind that that's the people's house. It's a sad commentary that the house and its inhabitants have to be walled off. I think that that's a sad commentary. We should want the White House to be opened up for people to be able to access it from all sides, opined the mayor. Those are federal assets, true, Bowser continued. But they are also very important to local Washington and to our country, and so people need to have access to our public buildings.